well. And he will be delivering his speech titled The Animal Kingdom. Speech time limited 5 to 7 minutes. The purpose of his speech is to learn about different communication styles and identify his primary style. And the purpose of this speech is for the member to share the impact of his style on others. Please put your hands together for Toastmaster Talha.
Thank you. So I think you would all agree that the corporate world is very similar to the animal kingdom. And I'll tell you why. In the animal kingdom, there are laws, but at the same time there are no laws. There are lions, there are tigers, there are the prey, such as deers, and then there are the songbirds. There are also creatures who are very strong and powerful, but who don't take much of an interest in what is happening. But they are quite strong, and they command significant influence. You could call them the elephants. Now the predators have their own ambitions, and they go out and they reach out to the unwitting prey. The sharks are the silent killers. They move stealthily below the waterline, and they just take a nip out of the person whom they're targeting. I'm sure you can relate to some of your colleagues in office as well. Then there are the lions. The lions are gregarious, they're sociable, they've got a very direct communicating style. They look you in the eye and they'll tell you that I'm going to eat you. That could be your organization's general manager. Technically, the people at the top got strong ambitions and want to take the world by storm. The subprime mortgage crisis happened in 2008, and it was led basically by a consortium of bankers. Now, these people at the very top had to utilize different communication styles. It was not just one that led them to a huge amount of riches, albeit at the cost of a lot of other people. So they had a very direct communicating style when they wanted to direct their employees about the targets that they wanted to achieve. But what about the employees themselves? What was in it for them to commit? So there was not just one communicating style that was at work. They also used a supportive communicating style to ensure that they are sociable with those particular people whom they want to influence to get to the targets. And those in particular people who then went out to the larger section of the population had a very supportive, very emotive, very connective communicating style, because they needed to show those particular people or the largest of the population at stake that there was a bigger picture at stake. So if they took an XYZ amount of loans, they could build a house, they could get a wife, they could get the good life. But at the same time, these people did not have the means to repay those loans. And as a result, there was an entire empire that was set up of non-performing loans, which eventually led to the collapse of the financial system, which affected Pakistan, which affected other countries as well. So there was almost amount of $600 billion that the US state treasury had to bail out all these banks to ensure that the rest of the population did not suffer, that the rest of the global economy did not suffer. And all for what? For money. What was the means of achieving that? It was just communication. And the various styles that were employed by these people to achieve those ends. But if I go down to a more micro level, who are these songbirds in our organization? So I'll share an interesting story, a rather amusing one, at least not for the people for the spouses that were involved in that, but for the general, let's say, the people who enjoy the gossip, or the people who are interested in spicy stories. So there was a couple who worked in our office several years back, and they fell in love, but both were married. So then they decided, what should we do about this problem? So they communicated very closely with each other, and they decided that we'll divorce each of our spouses. Shocking news to some, right? But not to the songbirds in the organization. So I also didn't know about this. It was just I was taking a cup of tea, and as usual there was these songbirds in the corner, and they were gossiping. And they asked my opinion about this. I said, hey, I don't want to get involved in this. This is as messed up as... So then, since they didn't know what to do about it, and they could only console, I guess, their spouses and congratulate the newly married couple in their own communicative styles. The line manager took exception to that and shared his opinion in a very directive manner. You should not have done this. But it was a bit too late. The papers had already been signed. So, the gossip queens, that's the name that I sort of termed them. Oh yeah, and there was a king as well in there. Just to be balanced. Told me in a adopted a very sociable style of communication. So it did not just come directly from him, but as part of a larger opinion base. I told them that why don't we ask the affected spouses to marry each other? So I told them in a very directive communicative style that I do not want to get involved in this. Thank you.